Stop chasing people, stop proving yourself, because the moment you focus on you, the universe starts to focus on you too. You see, life gets loud. Everyone's talking, everyone's posting, everyone's running, trying to keep up, trying to fit in, trying to be seen. But here's the truth nobody tells you. You don't find peace by chasing attention. You find it by chasing purpose. When you focus on yourself, everything, your peace, your success, your relationships, begins to fall into place. Because the moment you take your eyes off the crowd and put them on your own lane, something powerful happens. Clarity. You begin to see who you really are. You begin to realize what you've been missing by trying to be what others wanted you to be. You start to grow, quietly, silently, consistently. That's what people don't understand. Focus isn't about isolation. It's about elevation. It's about stepping back from the noise so you can hear your own voice. When you focus on you, the world might think you've disappeared. They might say you've changed. They might say you've gone cold. But what they don't realize is you're healing, you're rebuilding, you're finding your rhythm again. Because sometimes the best thing you can do is walk away from distractions. Not because you're weak, but because you're finally strong enough to protect your peace. You see, we spend so much time worrying about who's watching, who's judging, who's talking, when the truth is, none of that will matter when you're living with purpose. The people who truly matter will understand your silence. They'll understand your focus. They'll respect your distance because they'll see your growth. When you focus on yourself, you stop begging for validation and start creating your own value. You stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You realize that your race is different. Your time is different. Your blessing is different. And when you start aligning your actions with your own purpose, that's when things begin to align for you. The opportunities, the relationships, the clarity, the peace. Everything you've been running after starts to come towards you because you finally became magnetic. So if you're in that phase right now, where you feel distant, misunderstood, or alone, remember this, it's not isolation, it's transformation. You're not lost, you're aligning. You're not behind, you're preparing. Because when you focus on yourself, everything else eventually finds its place. Let's be honest. Most people can't focus because they're surrounded by noise. Not just physical noise, but digital noise, emotional noise, mental noise. Every notification, every opinion, every expectation, it all pulls your attention in 100 directions. And the more distracted you are, the further you drift from yourself. But growth doesn't happen in chaos. It happens in calm. When you decide to focus on yourself, the first thing you must learn to do is disconnect. That doesn't mean you disappear from the world. It means you prioritize your peace over popularity. Denzel Washington once said, "You pray for rain, but you gotta deal with the mud too." That's the truth of focus. You can't reach clarity until you're willing to walk through the discomfort of silence. At first, silence feels strange. You'll miss the constant buzz of other people's lives. You'll want to check what everyone's doing, compare your journey to theirs. But the longer you stay still, the louder your inner voice becomes. You begin to remember what you truly want, what makes you come alive, what dreams you had before the world told you to be realistic. Silence helps you realign. It reveals who's really there for you and who only benefits from your distraction. It shows you which relationships are built on energy and which are built on convenience. When you focus inward, you begin to rebuild your foundation. You start investing your time in growth and discipline and consistency. You wake up early not for the applause but for the peace of knowing you're building something real. The world glorifies being busy, but peace comes from being present. So start detaching from things that drain you. People, habits, environments that no longer serve your growth. Replace them with quiet mornings, powerful goals, and intentional actions. You don't owe anyone your energy. You owe yourself your evolution. When you silence the noise, your vision becomes clear. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop chasing validation and start choosing purpose. And slowly but surely, you begin to see that everything you needed was never out there. It was always within. Here's something powerful. Not everyone deserves your energy. Not everyone deserves to know your plans, your pain, or your progress. When you focus on yourself, you learn the art of protecting your energy. You stop explaining your vision to people who can't see it. You stop trying to convince those who are committed to misunderstanding you. Energy is expensive. Don't waste it on things that don't multiply your peace. Denzel said it best. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Protecting your energy means choosing growth even when it's uncomfortable. It means walking away from negativity, gossip, and drama because your spirit deserves better. When you're focused on yourself, you don't chase attention, you attract it. You don't beg for respect. You earn it through discipline and consistency. Not everyone will understand why you're distant now. They'll say you've changed. And that's okay because you have. You're not supposed to stay the same once you've seen your worth. Protecting your energy means understanding that peace is more valuable than popularity. You'll lose some people, but you'll find yourself. You'll stop attending every argument you're invited to. You'll stop explaining yourself to people who only listen to reply. This is maturity. When you realize silence is stronger than shouting, and peace is louder than noise. So choose yourself. Protect your energy like it's gold, because it is. You can't talk about focusing on yourself without talking about discipline. Because focus without discipline is just a wish. Discipline is what turns dreams into habits and habits into results. When you start focusing on yourself, your excuses begin to disappear. You realize no one's coming to save you. No one's going to drag you to success. It's on you. Denzel once said, "Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish." Discipline is showing up when motivation fades. It's doing what's right when no one's watching. It's sacrificing comfort for progress. And the moment you master discipline, you become unstoppable. You'll stop waiting for the right time and start creating the time. You'll stop depending on inspiration and start building systems. When you're disciplined, your self-respect grows. You start trusting yourself again. You start believing in your own potential because you've proven it through action. Focus and discipline walk hand in hand. When you strengthen one, you strengthen the other. When you truly focus on yourself, you stop begging people to see your worth. You start building it. You stop explaining your dreams to small minds. You stop chasing love that doesn't respect your peace because self-value isn't given. It's built through decisions, through boundaries, through standards. When you start focusing on your growth, your value increases, not in their eyes, but in your own. And when you know your worth, you stop settling for less. You'll learn to walk away from anyone who makes you feel like you're too much or not enough. You'll understand that solitude is better than fake company. And that's the moment everything starts falling into place. Because your life always reflects the value you place on yourself. Here's the magic. When you focus on yourself long enough, you begin to align. And when you align, you attract. Opportunities find you. The right people find you. Peace finds you. Because you've raised your vibration. You've cleaned your space. You've built your vision. This is when life starts moving differently. Because you're no longer chasing. You're attracting. Everything begins to fall into place, not because you forced it, but because you became it. That's the secret of focus. It's not about doing more. It's about becoming more. When you become the person you're meant to be, everything that's meant for you will naturally find its way to you.